everyone. In the last video, we learned PHP syntax and variables. And now in this tutorial, we will learn how to manipulate or perform operations on variables and values using operators in PHP. So what is operators in PHP? Operators are symbols that tell the PHP processor to perform certain actions. For example, the addition symbol is an operator that tells PHP to add two variables or values, while the greater than symbol is an operator that tells PHP to compare two values. And these will be the operators that we're going to learn: arithmetic, assignment, comparison, increment and decrement, logical, string, array, conditional assignment, and spaceship operators. Okay, so now let's proceed to creating our stage first with the help of HTML and CSS. So inside our SAM folder, we'll look for htdocs and create a new folder, and let's name this one PHP Operators. Okay, and let's drag it in our code editor. Okay, so inside our code editor, we have now our folder named PHP Operators, and now let's create a new file and let's name this index.php. So now let's prepare our HTML first. English, and let's say it's document type, HTML, and let's create head tags and metacharacter set. Is UTF-8. Okay, and let's put a title. Okay, let's say PHP Operators. Save it. Okay, and our body tag. Oops. Inside our body tag, let's create a section main, and let's create a division here. Let's say div and a header. Okay, let's say again PHP Operators. Okay, and let's put a horizontal rule here. Save. And make sure that SAMP is up. SAMP. Okay, so we have started already. And okay, so let's close this. And let's say localhost. And the name of your folder inside htdocs. In our case, that's PHP Operators. Okay, and index. Okay, so now we have our simple PHP file running. Okay, so it's up and running, and let's put another division. We can just copy this and paste, and let's say this is header 2, and we could name this what do you want to name this? Arithmetic. Oh, why do I get wrong spellings always? Arithmetic Operators. Save. Okay, and refresh. Okay, so let's put some CSS here. Oops, no, not atom. Let's close atom. Again, go to brackets and let's create a new folder, name it CSS, and inside our CSS folder, let's create a new file and name this styles.css. Okay, so we want to style first. What do we want to style first? I guess this main section here. Okay, so let's go to styles.css, call the selector main, and let's say margin left, let's say 10%, and close, and save, and run. Oops. Okay, so we need to link it. Okay, go back to index. At the head section, let's link our CSS relationship style sheet href that is inside your CSS folder /styles.css. Since we are using an external style sheet, we have to link it using this tag link. Okay, save and oops, refresh. Okay, so now as you can see here, okay, before I have instructed you to install an extension called pesticide because it will help us with troubleshooting our CSS. Okay, so now we have a 10% margin right here. Okay, so maybe we can also add a right margin right, let's say 10%. Okay, and save and refresh. Okay, so now we have a 10% margin on the left side of our main section of our code of our HTML. Okay, so this is the main section of our HTML, which encompasses almost all of the body of HTML. Okay, so this is 10%, and we have a right margin of also 10%. Okay, so what else do we want to do? Maybe change the font. Okay, so let's say font. Okay, let's look for Google Fonts. Oops. Google Fonts, we will use Roboto. I love Roboto. Okay, so maybe we can use medium. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, so this only works when you have internet connection. Okay, this kind of linking fonts from online source. Okay, so let's copy this. Copy and again go to your HTML index page and say paste the link here inside the head tag. Okay, so maybe we will label this one as from Google Fonts. Link from Google Fonts, and let's just comment it. Okay, I just selected Control/. Okay, save and let's copy this. go back to our CSS file, and let's say h1, or yeah, h1, and all the headers. Maybe we will just have, let's call the main section, and let's say let's copy and paste it. Okay, save and refresh. Okay, so now we have used Roboto font from, of course, an online source. Okay, and you can also specify this as only in your H1. Okay, say H1. Okay, and have a different font in H2. You can also do that. Okay, like this. Okay, but in our case, we will just make it uniform. Okay, save and refresh, and let's make it centered, I guess. Okay, so let's create here, since this part is the main title in H1. Okay, so let's say text align H1. Oops, H1. Let's say text align center and close, and okay, so we have it centered now. Okay, so I think Roboto bold is too bold. Maybe we can reduce its weight, its font weight, I mean. Okay. Okay, so maybe we can use instead, we have used this one. Maybe we can use this. Okay. Just change it inside your index.php. Okay, save and refresh. Okay, so now it's not too bold. Okay, so what else do we want to do? Maybe we can put an image. Okay, so we can put a logo here or anything you want which would make your page look presentable. Okay, so I have a logo here, and I'm going to copy it, go back to the code editor, and let's create another file and call it image. Okay, inside your image, folder, inside your image folder, did I make a file? Let's remove it first. Can I delete? Okay, so create a new folder and call it CS image. Okay, and inside the image folder, let's paste it here. Okay, so now we want to have one image just right here. Okay, let's put division. Okay, so inside this div, let's put an image tag source. Okay, source is, right now we are in this file, so we go inside the image folder, okay, slash the name of the image file. So we have the marcode logo.ping. Okay, save and run. Okay, so now we have a very big image here, which is of course does not look balanced. Okay, so what I would like to emphasize is, if you're a beginner, even an advanced designer, pesticide is really useful. Okay, so we want this to be centered here. Okay, this is one division, one main division, and inside it are your division for your image, one division for h1, and another division for your h2, okay, and so on. Okay, so what we wanted to do now is we would want to make it centered and design it a little bit. Okay, so again, go back to brackets to your CSS file, and let's say image. Okay, so we call the image tag here, okay, as the selector, which of course we're calling this image tag here. Okay, so let's say image. Okay, we want your width to be 200 pixels. Okay, just play with the size. Okay, F5. Okay, let's go back to index.php. Let's put a class in this div and let's name it image div. Image div. Okay, so let's call this class here in styles.css, and let's say dot. Okay, so for when we call classes, we start with a dot, and the name of the class, which is image div. Okay, and let's say text align center. Okay, and close and refresh. Okay, so now it's centered. Okay, we also want our image to be somewhat rounded, so let's say border radius 50%. Okay, refresh. Okay, so that looks better. Okay, what else do we want to do with the page? Let's style the background. Okay, so for the background, let's look for some image. Okay, let's go to cool backgrounds. Okay. Okay, so what do we want? White and gradient. No, not gradient. No, something abstract. We want something abstract. And nope. No. No. It's too much. Oh. Maybe this will do. And download and show in folder, and let's say copy and paste it here inside our image file. No, I mean in image folder, and let's name this white no, background abstract. Okay, Okay, now so let's use that image for our background. Okay, so index, and we want to put it inside, of course, the body tag. Okay, so let's say here, let's say body, and let's call the image. Okay, so background image, URL. So that is, where can we find our image? It's right here inside our image folder. So now we want to get out of this folder, okay, to the main directory. So that's dot and slash get inside the image folder, okay, and the name of the file. Okay, so that's background abstract, that thing. Okay, it's better to just copy it and paste dot ping. Okay. Okay. What else do we want to do with it? Oh, we didn't want it to look like it's moving or something. Okay, so let's go back to CSS and let's say background, repeat, let's say no repeat. Okay. And then the background size, let's say cover. Okay, refresh. Okay, and we also want it to be fixed. Okay. So what do we mean when we say fixed? So supposing if we have paragraphs here already, let's say right here. Okay, so let's say paragraph and dot 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 dot. So if we have so many paragraphs here already, okay, save, okay, and another last paragraph. Okay. Okay, so if we have already this, okay, so we want our background to be just fixed. Okay. Okay, so if we scroll the page, it will scroll with it. Okay, so let's say go back to styles and background attachment, let's say fixed, save and refresh. Okay, so no matter how we scroll our page or the scroll bar here, our background remains fixed. Okay, so let's remove our dummy paragraphs. Okay, so if you want to learn more about CSS, or again, I have already said this before, that you don't have to memorize everything here. Okay, so whatever you type in styles.css, which is your CSS file, okay, so if you didn't know how to put a margin or to put a background image, okay, so just go to the W3 schools or in Tutorial Republic. There are many sources in the web. Okay, just like for example, how to make CSS background image fixed. Okay, so you just have to search for it, and it will give you some examples here. Okay, so like try it yourself, and you can copy their examples, or you can experiment it here. Okay, like that. And we know that when you remove the fixed property here, it will of course go up when you scroll it. Okay, so just put it back and try to run it again and see how it works. Okay, so again, just look for some sources on the web because there are so many. Okay, so the very friendly W3 schools and a lot more. Okay, so again, this has taken a little while, and let's go now to the meat of our topic, which is of course PHP operators. Okay, so let's ask the help of W3 schools and Tutorial Republic for our discussion today about operators. Okay, so arithmetic operators. Okay, we're done with discussing what operators are, so now let's proceed to arithmetic operators. The arithmetic operators are used to perform common arithmetical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and etc. Like in other programming languages, C++, VB, Java, we use arithmetic operators. Okay, so plus for addition, and the result would be its sum. Minus for subtraction, so the result would be its difference. Okay, multiplication for the product, slash for division. Okay, so the result would be the quotient, and the percent sign is a modulus operator or modulus operator, which gives us the remainder, okay, of x, the value of x here, okay, divided by y. Okay, so let's try their examples. So they have assigned variable x with a value of 10 and variable y with a value of 4. Okay, and then they echoed, okay, the result of x, which is of course has a value of 10 plus y, of which the value is 4. Okay, so we'll try this one. Page and close PHP. Okay, so let's assign x to the value of 25 and y like 4. Okay, and then let's echo x plus y. Okay, save it. Localhost Php Operators. And index.php. Wrong spelling is wrong. Okay. Okay, so now we have the sum of our values 25 and 4. Okay, so let's make it more meaningful. Let's put a string here. The sum of variable x and variable y is the following. Okay, and let's concatenate it. Okay, space and okay, so that's for in addition operator. Okay, so let's try the rest of the operators. So the difference between x and y is followed by product of x and y is, use multiplication operator, and the quotient of x and y is, where did I put a slash here? This should be minus sign. Okay, and for modulus, the remainder of x divided by y is this one. Okay, save and refresh. Oops, let's put a BR here first. Okay, concatenate and put a break. Break, break, save and run. Okay, so now we have made it more meaningful than just outputting the result. So we have the sum of the variables. Okay, so x and y, that's 25 and 4. Okay, so for the difference between 25 and 4 is 21. The product, 25 and 4 is 100. Quotient is 6.25, and the remainder of 25 divided by 4 is 1. Okay, because that would make it 6 times 4 is 24, and then there's a remainder of 1. Okay, so with the use of the modulus operator, which is this in programming. Okay, the percent sign is a modulus operator. Okay, so we're done with arithmetic operators. Let's now proceed to the next. Okay, the next is assignment operators. Maybe just copy these headings. Okay, for arithmetic, save. Okay, next we can just let's create another div. Okay, and h2. Okay, let's base it. Not arithmetic, assignment operators. Assignment operators. And another horizontal rule. Okay. Save and boom, we have another one. So maybe we can just remove this and this horizontal rule and transfer it below. I guess it would be more appropriate. Horizontal rule, transfer here, and just remove it first. F5 there. Okay, so that it would show that this section is separate from the section that follows. Save. So we're done with Php Arithmetic Operators. So now let's proceed to Php Assignment Operators. Okay, so the assignment operators are used to assign values to variables. Okay, so we have the equal sign for assign. Okay, so if we have the example here, x is equal to y, so that could be x is equal to 5, for example. Okay, so we also have plus and equals. Okay, so for add and assign, minus equals, that is subtract and assign. Okay, multiply equals, that is multiply and assign. Okay, slash and equals, that is divide and assign quotient. Okay, and percent sign, okay, or modulus equals, that is divide and assign modulus. Okay, so let's try the example here. Okay. Let's make labels first. So let's say H4 using equals. Let's try to run it. Okay, using plus equals minus equals multiply divide and lastly modulus. Save, refresh. So we have it here now. So let's apply this with practical examples. Let's say PHP and close. We could assign using equals assignment operator. Say x is equal to 90. Okay, and echo x. Save, run. Okay, so we have here the value of x. Okay, we assigned a value to the variable x, which is 90. Okay, that's why it echoed 90. So how about using plus equals? Supposing we have x and the value is 3. Then we have x plus equals 5. Okay, so what does it mean? Okay, so let's echo x afterwards. Save, run. Okay, so how did we arrive with 8 here using the plus equals? So remember that when we use the plus equals operator here, we assigned a with a value of 3. Okay, now so we assigned a value to a which is 3. Okay, and we said variable a plus equals to 5. Now we get 8. Okay, so how? So it's as though we had said a is equal to a plus 5. Okay, so we assigned a right here. Okay, so that makes it 3 plus 5, and the result is 8. Okay, so a plus equals 5 is the same as saying variable a is equal to variable a plus 5. That makes it 8. Now let's apply the rest of the operators here with some examples. Okay, so we'll just copy this. Okay, so let's change this to maybe 50. Okay, and here let's say 20. Okay, and echo x. Okay, so again, when you say x equals minus 20, it's just the same as saying x is equal to x minus 20. Okay, so the output would be, that's 30. So how about with multiply equals? Let's put some php tags here and save. So that's say 10 and 10 here. And lastly, for modulus, copy and paste. It's 100 and 15. This should be division and this should be modulus. Save and run. Okay, so it has given us this output. Okay, so that's using the assignment operators. So when you say assignment operators, they assign values to variables. Using equal, that is to assign a value to a variable, that is x is equal to y, or that could be x is equal to 5, plus equals, that is also the same as saying x is equal to x plus y. For minus, that's x is equal to x minus y. For multiplication, so for multiply and design, that is x is equal to x times y. With division, that's x is equal to x divided by y. And for modulus operator, that's also the same as saying x is equal to x modulus y. Okay, so given our example here, it produced this output. Okay, so that could be for multiplication. For example, it gives us 100 because that's like x is equal to 10 times 10. Okay, because x times equals 10 is the same as x is equal to x times 10. That makes it 100. Okay, so I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and see you in the continuation of this tutorial about PHP operators.